Welcome to Behind the Book. Today I have Kat Newport, coach, mediator, conflict strategist with her company, Oculus Inc. We're going to be talking about conflict transformation. Let's just jump right in. I'm Heather Andrews, and on Behind the Book, we journey beyond the cover. On each episode, I dive deep into the minds of authors, unlocking the mysteries behind their literary creations. Discover the stories behind the book exclusively here with me. Welcome to Behind the Book. Today I have episode 2 with Kat Newport, and if you missed episode 1, you want to go back to that and listen as we move into the next phase of her book writing journey. Welcome to the show, Kat.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. So when we left off last time, you were talking a little bit about your book, Smart Conflict, which launches in March. And we talked a little bit about how to bring awareness to conflict and how to be smart about it and what SMART stood for. So you have to check out episode number 1 to figure out what SMART stood for. But moving forward, what kind of transformation did you have as an author when you were writing your book, Smart Conflict?
That's a deep question. When I was writing the book, I had the learning portion, the portion of, the technique and the tips and the hints and all of that. I had that all laid out. This was great. No problem. You want bullet points? You've got a book. Where I struggled was with the stories. What stories tie to these things? And I've had quite the journey in my corporate career, so there were lots of stories to choose from. So, not all of them were bad, but there were quite a few stories to choose from. So I think going back and revisiting some of the managers and leaders and colleagues and coworkers I've had over the length of my career, going, okay, so how was our communication? How were our conflicts? How did this come out? There was a lot of, so this is where I learned that lesson, or wow, this is where I learned that lesson. This is really good. So there was a lot of catharsis that kind of came out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of them I was really pounding on that keyboard. No. And some of them came out a lot more smoothly. So yeah, check out the book. You get to figure out which ones I pounded on the keyboard with.
I think we all have those keyboard moments, and I think when you write a book, and after helping 300 and some authors write their books and publish them, it really is one of the deepest, most transformational things that you can do in your life. When you speak of it being a very deep question and a deep experience, really, it is. And as you are writing, and out of the 300 and some authors that I've published, and as you went back, and when you were keyboard pounding and you were going back and asking the managers for their stories, would you say that there was some healing for you in that?
In a single word, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They're, trying to write those stories going, this is the lesson I learned, and I'm, so angry, so sad, so happy, so elated that happened. It was unpacking and understanding potentially where they were coming from as well. So grabbing that other perspective, because I had to write the story not just from, this is what I experienced when I was a brand new employee at the age of 24, and oh my gosh, you can't believe it. Opening that window up a little bit more, seeing, okay, so what was going on around at the moment? What was the environment at the moment? So definitely some healing going on, and some understanding, I think, some deeper understanding of where folks are coming from.
And would you say that from writing this book, there's a little bit of celebration around what you experienced? Yeah, there's that survivor, you cross the finish line, that ribbon breaks across your chest, like, I did it. I'd love to say this is the end of my conflict journey, but I'm sure it's not. But yeah, there's definitely that pride moment in, okay, I did come through a lot. Mm-hmm. I was a new manager back in the 90s. So coming through all those different stages and different environments and different generations and different groups of people, there's definitely a sense of pride that I was able to not just withstand it all with white knuckles, but thrive in the environment as well. One of the other questions that I always really speak to and talk about with authors is the unique vision So you and a coworker might have been walking through the same predicament, life experience, but you each come out with your different, with your own perspective. And what would you say to that? Do you have your own perspective versus what your manager or coworker would say?
Absolutely. Your reality is made up of your perspective.
Yeah.
As we go very deep and thoughtful here, joining the Aristotle group.
Philosophy.
Philosophizing, yes. Everybody's perspective makes up how they walk through life. Mm-hmm. So coming at it from my side of the house, sitting here 10, 15, 20 years on going, I'm looking backwards at what I did when I was 25 years old and gee, I should have done this and I should have done that and I should have done this. It's definitely a different perspective. I could not have done this and I could not have done that and I could not have done this. I just didn't have the capacity at the age of 25. So it's definitely, even just looking at my own perspective from different time periods in my career and my life, it definitely changes, let alone what you may perceive in a situation versus what I may perceive in a situation. I mean, we're coming at it from two different angles.
I love that. Yeah, and would you say that conflict is the same across the board within corporations, or would you say that there's different conflicts that happen within different scenarios and different corporations? Because I remember when we were talking about culture and, say, HR, one lady said, once I'm an HR director, I can be an HR director in any company. So if you were the conflict resolution specialist in a company of, say, you know, industry, like, I don't know, oil and gas, for instance, versus healthcare, would you see different conflicts or would you handle them the same?
Every organization is a unique entity unto itself. So when you move from one oil and gas company to the next oil and gas company, you're going to encounter two completely different cultures.
Perfect.
So same industry, two companies, two cultures. As employees turn over, this changes your company culture. If you restructure or do mergers and acquisitions, this changes your company's culture. You're constantly going to see an evolution in how conflict is managed.
Okay.
So to sit here as an HR, I'm an HR director, I've seen it all, that'll be the day that you come across something you have never seen before.
Yeah, we think at this age that we've seen it all, but there's just some stuff that you just can't make up.
There's still special stuff out there, yeah.
So once again, thank you, Kat, for coming on today. And as we wrap up, where can people find you?
You can find me at my website, www.smartconflictbook.com. You can reach me at my email, which is Kat Newport at oculuscoachingyyc.com. And you can give me my call at 825-365-3533.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming on for episode 2. Can't wait we're going to leave you with a cliffhanger so that you join in on episode 3. And once again, the smartest thing that you can do to help you resolve conflict in your life is get on her wait list to get her book, which launches in March. Thanks again, Kat.
Thanks so much.
It's been a literary voyage here on Behind the Book. My sincerest thanks to our featured authors for letting us peek behind the curtain. I'm Heather Andrews, urging you to keep exploring the vast universe of literature. Until our next chapter, happy reading.